Good morning, my viewers out there. Man, it's like troubling a hornet nest. Man, they're coming out firing, man, firing their big guns. Firing their big guns in defense of atheism. Oh man. Listen, man. None of you can deny the existence of God. None of you. God is real. Evidence of God is abundantly clear within the creation. It's on the work. Speak of God. You can't deny his existence. His existence is undeniable and irrefutable. Evidence is there. Look up in the sky. Look at all the things that science is discovering about complexities, about the universe. So convincing that some of the scientific, intellectual giants are coming to Jesus, to the very God that you claim that you are denying. You cannot deny the existence of God. The onus probandi is on your shoulder to disprove what you have seen, what is so evidently clear. It's on you, not on me. It's on you, not on me, not on any theologians, not on any Christians. You must come up with anything you can come up with to disprove that God is not real, that God does not exist. He indeed exists. Whatsoever is. Parmenides. Whatsoever is. And whatsoever is irrefutable and undeniable. God is. You can deny a lie, you can deny a truth, but you cannot deny reality. It's no matter what you try. And because you atheists and agnostics and skeptics out there claim that there is no God, that you cannot disprove. You try all you have myriads of arguments to disprove that there is no God. And all of them are untenable, tenuous, irrational, illogical. None of them disprove the existence of God. Why are you trying so hard to prove something that you think doesn't exist, man? Wasting so much energy. Intellectual output is like the sun energy. It's like the energy the sun put out in a day. That's intellectual energy you guys put out to disprove the existence of God. All the great scientists, Copernicus, Isaac Newton, and the others, all of them believe in God. It's just this 21st century scientists, contemporary scientists, hold the position that there is no God. And then many have to come and acknowledge, based upon the evidence, based upon the unrefutable evidence that there is actually a God that must be responsible for the universe. The universe is not here by any cosmic evolution. The universe is not a brute fact that requires no explanation beyond itself. Universe is not eternal according to the Aristotelian belief. Many of you scientists, many of you, not science, many of you, I can say, but atheistic scientists, many of you atheists, many of you gnostic or agnostic or skeptics, whatever you call your name, all of you believe that there's a God. All of you believe that there's a God. You're only there suppressing the truth, but you cannot deny the existence of God. And because you cannot deny the existence of God, the existence of God is intractable, it's inescapable, irrefutable. You cannot deny the existence of God. It's too clear, too conspicuous, right in your face. Even your scientific tool sees the fingerprints of God and His creation. The existence of God cannot be denied, but of course it can be suppressed. And that's what all of you are doing, suppressing the truth of God's existence. Science cannot prove God by its tool. Scientists cannot use the tool of science and empirically prove the existence of God. Remember I said He's a non-empirical being? God works in many ways, His providential activities throughout the universe. And you, all of you, have seen evidence of God in many events and things. And the things that people talk about. Lee Strobel was an atheist and he come to believe in God. He just look on the evidence and followed. Anthony Flew. Many other scientists, I don't remember their name. Many scientists, man. Once was an atheist and come to believe in the true and living God. John Stanford, who wrote Genetic Entropy. Ming Wang, Harvard, MIT, MD, PhD in laser physics, one of the greatest eye surgeons in the world. But many of you believe that Christianity is a bunch of Christians and theologians is a bunch of ignoramuses. We cannot contribute to anything that is intellectually and logically meaningful in explaining anything whatsoever when it comes into the universe. Our life in general. Why am I here? What's my purpose? Who am I? Where am I going? Is there a purpose to the universe? Many of you skeptics and many of you atheists and agnostics, when you're in your house at night and you reminisce and go through all the ills of life and the struggle and the problem you have, many of you bow your knees before your bed and pray. Many of you in the dark are in dim lit rooms, in a private little closet. You bow and ask God to help you. You even weep and you cry. Many of you pray and you read the Bible in privacy, in secrecy. Many of you do that, but in the daylight, You don't want your friend to know, and a family member know that you're concede to theism, or you're a believer in Jesus, a follower of Jesus, because they know you were an avowed atheist, not an agnostic, a skeptic. Many, we live in a furnace of life, but when the heat starts to turn up, and many of you have issues, problems, many of you don't know where to go. Many. One day will wish they had him. And many of you hate God so bad till you rather seek out many other options to ease your pain, your emotional pain and your psychological pain. You seek many other options. Drugs and alcohol, sexual deviances, and many other things you think could fill that void. Many other things that you think could resolve the issues, your problem that you have. The enormous pain, emotional pain, and psychological pain, even physical pain. Well, because you hate God so bad, you'd rather take the path of death and destruction. Many of you guys come on YouTube and you hurl your insulting words and epithets and, because you have no arguments. I mean, perverse to your criticism. That's all you can do. Try to insult people. Try to, intimidate them. That's all you can do, man. That's all you can do. You don't have to do all of these, man. Just come, if you disagree, disagree. You put forth your argumentation. All of us don't agree on anything, in a lot of stuff in life that you and a friend don't agree with, and you and a family member don't agree with, and stuff like that. But that's why you're angry, brother, when you're in a better reason. Your family member, your wife, or your children, or whatsoever it is. That's why your pastor and your school teacher. That's why you deal with them. You have that disagreement. So instead of bringing forth your strong and persuasive argument to counter their argument, you just emote and just spit out insulting words and epithets. That's it. That's all you got, man. Come on. Name calling doesn't worth it, man. It shows a lot about you. It shows a lot about you, man. Right? And many of you, all those insulting words and dirt you want to cast upon me and others like me, one day they're going to put in a cup of judgment and you're going to drink all of it. You're going to drink all of it, man. You're going to drink it to the dregs. You see, this is the very thing that you guys are running away from. Running away from the existence of God because you don't want to be held accountable for anything. Well, there is no God, so I can do anything. There is no one watching me, no big daddy in the sky, or someone say the sky daddy and all of this. You can't God is acquainted with all of these demeaning terms that you use for him. All of these things. You're going to judge for them if you don't repent. You're going to be judged for them. Whether you believe it or not, you're going to be judged for them, man. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. That's 100% certainty. We're going to be judged for these things. Some of you not ever address what I talk about or stuff like that, you know. And Sabine Felder, bright woman. Bright woman. I wouldn't call her names. Why? Why should I? You might disagree with certain things that she said, but why would I go and call her name? She's a brilliant woman. Respectable scientist. Right? She have an IQ far beyond mine. Huh? She herself critiques science hard. She's not into theories too much. The aesthetics of theories and come up all these scientists come up with different theories, try to explain certain phenomena of the universe. She liked to the rawness of science. Too much aesthetics. She likes to know that this mathematical formula and this theory can account for what she sees. Right? Can account for what she sees. She has this level of practicality, strong sense of observability. What she observes, what she sees within nature, she wants to find some kind of scientific formula, an hypothesis that best explains what she sees in nature. She critiques science hard. So it's not me alone criticizing science. She's an atheist, but she critiques science because there's a lot of Alice in Wonderland kind of imagination within science, man. There's no scientific evidence, no experimentally verifiable data concerning any of these things. Any of these things. That's what she always speak out against. But you have those people out there that can argue. They can present a rational and logical argumentation and a counter argument, so they lash out with insults. Lash out with insults. Shame on you guys, man. Come on. And why this hostility? Why this aggression and hostility against Christianity? Why? We are not the only one out there preaching and teaching about the exclusivity of what we believe. Every religion has the exclusive, defeated doctrine. Everyone. But everyone cannot be correct. They all can be wrong, but they all cannot be correct. Right? They all can be wrong, but they all cannot be correct. But why this aggression and Christianity as though we are the only one out there saying our faith is exclusive? Every religionist, they will tell you that their faith is the true faith. Doesn't matter what religion it is. It's for you now. It's to examine them carefully and to see which make better sense of if nature, the world, logics, maths, numbers, and all the things that are visible and invisible. Which religious worldview make better sense? Where you're not to prove to any of you that God exists, because we know that He exists. The universe is evidence of God's existence. It is very clear, as I said before, even down to your core. The very DNA in you tells us that there is a supernatural mind behind the information within the DNA that make you who you are. No atheistic worldview can account for that. No other worldview. Information comes from the mind. Watson Crick come up and discover the double helix of the DNA molecule, and they were taken aback by its beauty, irreducible complexity. Chance and time cannot be credited for this. Some supernatural intelligence must be credited for it. But who is the supernatural intelligence? Steve Markin said the God who is responsible, the creation of the universe was by some unknown mathematical law, because it didn't want to say it was the God of the Bible that brought the entire world into existence. Scientists, atheist scientists will come up with any theories. Any theories that your mind can imagine, just to preclude God, just to exclude him, just in an attempt to deny him. You have other great men out there defending the faith, like William Lane Craig. This is how you treat William Lane Craig. William Lane Craig debates some of the most known atheistic science philosophers or whatsoever discipline they are out there. J.P. Moreland. These are some of the men works they even quote. Dr. James White, Jason Lies, Stephen C. Myers, The Return of the God Hypothesis. These are men out there that challenge the atheistic worldview. I read one of those comment that guy was saying that, trying to come up with a simplistic version of what atheism is. That atheism is not a worldview. It is a worldview. It is by which we judge everything, by which we discern everything, we define things. It's by which we live. It's a worldview. And depending that worldview is philosophical naturalism. All there is matter. There is no transcendent, non-empirical reality. There is no God. There is no God because science cannot empirically prove God. Then what do you expect? What do you expect? We don't expect to put God on a microscope, an electron microscope, any microscope whatsoever. If you really want to see him, you will see him in his handiwork. When you look at the beauty of the sunsets, the complexity of the laws that govern the universe. Who else could have made these things except God himself? Whenever we try, atheists and agnostics and skeptics, whenever we try to deny ultimate reality, the results will always be rational and intellectual absurdities. Reality determines how we talk, determines how we believe. That is why moral relativism is not a livable, practical belief. It's a moral position that a lot of people hold to. There is a moral absolute. But the moment you inflict pain upon them or do something wrong to them, all of a sudden, moral absolutism just keep rushing out of their mouth. Rushing out of their mouth. That is what reality does. It takes our ideology, our philosophy, our scientific hypothesis, takes them all, and then reduce all of them to absurdities. If it does not, if it cannot, if a theory cannot correspond with what is, it can never survive. It can never be applicable. Reality is what is. And as I said before, God is ultimate reality. And you try to deny ultimate reality, your argumentation will always be convoluted and irrational and illogical. Because He is the ground of what is. And you try to deny what is His. And it will be always is. You cannot deny. It's right in your face. Because we think by denying something, make the thing disappear. The very thing that we're denying, we think that by denying it, it will eventually disappear. If anyone, atheist, you say there is no God, has nothing to do with the being of God. God exists apart from what you think and what you claim. You could deny as much as you can till blood flows from your eyes. It has no bearing upon the ontology of God. No bearing whatsoever on the ontology of God. If someone tells you that a truck is coming up the road, and then when you look, you see no truck, that's a lie. It is a lie because it doesn't correspond to reality. It has no state of affair within the isness of things. You can only deny something that is true, but you cannot deny something that is real. You cannot deny something that is real. It doesn't matter what. I don't believe in gravity. I don't believe that the sun, I don't believe that the earth is round or it's spherical. You can deny as much as you can. You cannot deny reality. You cannot deny what is. So all of you who call yourself agnostic and skeptic and atheist, once again, the burden of proof is on you, not me. You have to disprove that God exists, and you cannot. The only thing you can do, as I said before, is to suppress the truth, because you know within yourself that there's a God. And the reason why you don't want to believe that there's a God, you don't want to be held accountable by him. No, gosh, I don't want any God to tell me what to do. I don't want any God to tell me what to believe. I want to be free. I want my own autonomy to do as I please, to think as I want to think. And I don't want any big man, big beard, long beard man in the sky to judge me. I don't want any fairy tale daddy in the sky to watch me and put any restriction upon what I should do, how I should think, and what I should say. But, brothers, man, the existence of God is inescapable. It's undeniable. It's irrefutable. Say all that you want to say, man. God is the most hated being in the entire universe. If God could be empirically seen and touched, and all of you got a hold of him, you would overkill him. You will beat the hell out of him until he's pulverized. All when he's pulverized, you have to get something to really annihilate him. No dust, no trace of him. That is all much people hate God. They hate him so much they don't want him to be. And even though they know that they cannot deny him being who he is, cannot deny his existence, they'll try anyway, because they are rebels. Rebel sinners. They rebel against God. It's all rebellion, spiritual and moral rebellion. And many people reject God. They have many reasons. If you should ask them, why do you don't believe that there's a God and all these things? They have many reasons, myriads of reasons. But all of them would fall within two primary categories. Intellectual category and emotional category. The intellectual category is, my wife's sick with this debilitating disease, and I said, God, heal him. Heal her, please, God, and I will trust you, and I will worship, and then the person die. Oh, God Almighty. Hunger, rage, the wrath against God flow like a faucet, flow like torrential rain. I don't believe in God anymore. I don't want him to be. I don't believe in any God. Second one is the intellectual one, the intellectual category. Well, we have so much suffering and pain in this world. And if God is good, why won't he stop it? Well, it's possible that he may be good, but he is impotent in stopping the ills and the evil in this world, because many of these evils and ills in this world have no redeeming qualities. They cannot be compensated for. I see no purpose in this suffering. Why God? Where is this God that the Christians talk about? Where is he? I don't believe there is a God, man. There's no God. If there was a God, God would put a hand to all of this suffering and misery, diseases, and all of these chaotic events in the universe. Yeah. That's how it is, man. And you have many people who were like that, and they come to know that there's a God and believe and trust in him. God has reasons that we were not divulged to know. And so because we don't know the purpose of God, we don't know what's in his mind, we don't know his providential objective and goal, we say, well, there's no God. And yeah, every man has the epistemic right, as I said. The epistemic right is you have the right to believe anything you want to believe, but make sure, know this very, very clearly. Take note of this very clearly. Your belief has eternal consequences. Everything that what you say about God and what you believe about God has eternal consequences. And one day you're going to find out. One day you're going to find out. So you can mock, you can laugh, and you can call us insulting names. You know, that's what happened to Jesus. Jesus came and Jesus brought his Father's commandment and word to the populace, and what they do? They mock him. They call him all kind of names: demons, madman, bastard. You work, cast a demon by Beelzebub. All kind of name they call Jesus. For any insulting name you can find, God has been called by them. And then, because we worship God, Jesus, we in turn called by these names. But we expect to be called by these names when we preach the gospel. We're not commandeering anybody's mind. We're not forcing anybody to believe. We just preach the gospel. And we know all of us are given names. We're called names. Every preacher that is on YouTube is called by some insulting name by these people out there that don't believe in the gospel, who hate God, who hate Jesus, and so on, and who say something about atheism or say something about Buddhism or whatsoever. Y'all go up, a deluge of people are going to attack you and call your names. They're not going to come and reason together and then respectfully and stuff like that. They're going to come down and try to spill filth on you and all of these things, trying to intimidate you and all of these things. They have no argument. They have no argument. And the rage, and I guess even if they had some kind of argument, they don't want to, because they're full of hate, full of disrespect. And so they pour out the wrath and the anger. instead of executing logical and rational argumentations. Yeah, but people, atheist, skeptic, and agnostic, there's a day coming, man. There is a day coming when you will give an account for your attitude and your disposition to the things of God and God Himself. You're going to pay. And you're going to pay dearly. Believe it or not. You have that right, but we will see. We shall see. You better bet on it, because it is 100% absolutely certain that you will meet this very God you're trying to deny. And you will bow your knee, whether you want to or not, and said, Jesus is Lord. This is the God that we're trying to do all along. The Christians were right. The Christians were right all along. But it will be too late. You're going to bow and acknowledge who He is, and then we'll cast you into hell. Simple. Simple and to the point. The better you know Him right now, before you die. Know Him right now before you die. That will make a big difference. I don't know, it seems like when people say, I don't believe in this God, or there's this God doesn't exist, and all of these things, somehow they feel like they're hurting God. They feel like they're injuring in some extent. I don't believe in this God. This long beard, red-eyed man in the sky, this fairy daddy in the sky. I don't believe this magical God, this wizard in the sky that brought everything out of existence by this wizardry, and called things out of existence by this wizardry. They believe that they're really hurting God. And this is the height of hubris and ignorance. They believe that they're causing God a lot of pain when they say these things and believe these things. No. God is self-sufficient. He's sufficient in Himself. He need none of us. However, you, Mr. Atheist and Skeptic Agnostic, you are the one who's going to suffer great loss. Eternal loss. God feels no pain. Feel nothing about what you're doing. All He's just waiting. Giving you time to make you look into yourself. Re-examine all of these things that you said. Re-examine your atheistic position. Re-examine your skeptic position. Re-examine your agnostic position, and come to know Him before He comes. So don't behave as if you can do without God. In Him we live and have our being. You cannot. God is like oxygen to us. You can deny oxygen as much as you can. It is what keeps you alive. Let me put it, you can try to deny it. Oh, no oxygen exists. I think it's some kind of a phenomenon, some strange phenomenon that scientists don't get to put their fingers on it and a microscope on it and to the mathematical theory to tell us, this is what this thing is. The very thing that you're fighting against is what keep you alive. The very thing that you're fighting against is what keep you in being. Your being is contingent. It's not necessary. God is a necessary being. All of us are a contingent being. We don't have to be. Anything can cause us not to be. So, finally, there are a lot of scientists that were atheists that come to believe this God, the creator. There are many people, non-science, people from all walks of life who once were, right? Once were atheists, agnostic and skeptic, come to believe the true and living God. They are out there. Do your research, you'll find them. They are there. And Lee Strobel, you must have heard about Lee Strobel. He wrote some books, The Case for Faith, The Case for Christ. Get a hold of those books and read those books, man. They're there, they're right, they're around you. A lot of people that once stand where you are today, they're now standing with God and have a beautiful relationship with God. And when God comes, they will inherit eternal abode with God forever and ever. You can have that opportunity too. You can have that blessing too. It's just for you to decide to make a decision to trust, to know this God, believe in this God, trust Him. That's it. Thank you, my subscribers. 2 thumbs up, man. 2 thumbs up. It's a battle. Yep, it's a battle. But we'll continue to fight. Thank you all. Out now.